Conor here in Logroño. Got the Cathedral of Logroño here behind, and here on a road trip through the north of Spain, Logroño onto Burgos this evening. And what I wanted to share with you today, a couple of weeks ago, I was meeting with a recent entrepreneur, and we sat down and I got talking to him about the business that he is helping build. And one of the first questions I asked was, tell me about your ideal customer. Who is your target customer? And he paused for a moment, he looked at me and he says, well, I think our product helps everyone. And as someone who's been around the world of entrepreneurs for the last 18 years, been an entrepreneur myself for the last 18 years, one of the scariest things that I can hear from an entrepreneur recently begun is that everyone is our customer. I think if you're General Electric, if you're Procter & Gamble, if you're Unilever, maybe if you're Amazon, then you can say that everyone is our customer. That's a different thing to say that everyone can benefit from our product than to say everyone is our customer. It may be true that every single person could benefit from your product, but the only way you're going to be able to build a business around a product is by really focusing down on one specific market. And as an entrepreneur building a business, I think one of the things to understand is sales. If your sales are consistent of a similar product, you're building something that is valuable. If every sale is custom, you're building something that may be good at generating income, but it doesn't have value as a business. If your business a year from now has 100 identical contracts for services to some similar groups of customers where you're solving and helping them achieve specific results, that's a much, much more valuable place to be than the same revenue a year from now from 100 custom contracts, each one slightly different. I think when investors look at a business, what they want to see is it's simple, it's repeatable, systematic. And as an entrepreneur, it's a very different thing to build what is sort of a consulting services business, which is almost every contract you sign is different, every project is custom, from what is a valuable business operation, which is you have a productized business, which is each contract is the same. It's very easy for an investor to understand the business that you're building. I remember years ago hearing an investor talking to a group of hotels and saying that their problem is all of their hotels were managed under different contracts. If they had all 100 hotels with the same contract, it'd be much more easy for that group to raise money in a financial services market like London or New York, because it's so easy for the investors to understand. And I think the other thing, as an entrepreneur, you have such limited resources, such limited time, such limited finances. You have to really focus down. I think the sun is shining down on us here. And I remember when I was a kid, you could take a magnifying lens and take the sun and set fire to a piece of paper. Because what you did with the lens is focus all of the sunlight on one specific point. And all that focus turns this warm light into something that's so hot that it creates fire. I think as an entrepreneur early on in a business, it's about focus and prioritization and a real realization that resources are so limited. You have to say no to so many things to focus down in and really get intense light shining on the customers that you really want as your proof of concept for your business. So, if you're helping an entrepreneur, if they say our business can serve everyone, our customer is everyone, you need to help them understand maybe your product benefits everyone, but to build a business, you need to focus. You need to pick an ideal customer and really understand them, really understand what it would get for them to choose your product, to test it, to become a reference for you. And if you've got 10, 15, 20 similar customers using your product in a similar way, giving you references for how it's impacting them and their business and their problems, then you're starting to build something of value. If you've got 10 diverse different groups, each using your product in a different way, and none of them giving you a reference, well then it's not so valuable at all. So make sure that if you're an entrepreneur and looking to build something of value, you're systematizing and productizing what you're building. And you can answer the question, who is our ideal customer? And it's somewhat specific and niche and really clear. And the clearer you can get on being able to articulate who is your ideal customer, the more it helps others be able to tell you, I know someone that I think you could help. One of the Vistage chairs that I know in Peru, when he built his Vistage group, he began saying, my group is for second generation family business under 40. And by being so specific, first you can picture the room. Second, the first thing my mind does is think of all the people that I know that might meet that criteria. So sometimes by being restrictive in your definition of your customer, by being restrictive in your definition of the type of opportunity you're looking for, it's really helpful for the other person to be able to point out one or two. When someone approaches me and says, Conor, I'm looking for a job, I say, what are you looking for? The more vague and general and generic their answer, the least likely that I am to help. The more absolutely specific on the opportunities they're looking for and exact names of people that they believe can help, the more likely I'm going to make the intro and try and help them. So get specific, whether you're searching for a job, whether you're an entrepreneur building a business. Focus. Focus is what turns diverse, disparate sunlight into something that can set fire to a piece of paper and begin something important. So anyway, Conor here in Logroño in the north of Spain on a road trip through the north of Spain. Have a good one. Thank you for your likes, your subscribes, your comments. Keeps me coming back in each of these places to make a video. Have a good one.